Hey you guys, welcome back to Crazy Quilting Crafts with SEK. Alright you guys, here's another show and tell on one of my, I would say, one of my first laser cut kits. This is a kit that I purchased from Missouri Quilting, and I did a haul on this as well, and I said it was just too cute not to do it. So now, am I applique professional? No, I'm not. Now let me tell y'all about this cute little quilt. I have done applique on little things, like I did a travel craft bag, and I did Dresden. So I did a bunch of Dresden, set them up like flowers, and then I did the applique stitch that comes on, you know, your sewing machine. And I did pretty well on that because I think in my mind that the Dresden's was big enough to where I can navigate sewing them with the applique stitch, which is kind of like the zigzag stitch. So in order for me, I'm speaking for me, in order for me to probably master that stitch and doing applique, my pieces have to be bigger. I had no problem doing the stitch on the rotary cutter and the measuring tape. I so love the way my measuring tape came out and my rotary cutter. But when I got to those letters, for me, the letters was just not big enough for me to, you know, maneuver throughout the machine, and all the you know, the twists and turns, the left and rights. I just got frustrated. I did the letter E on twice, probably twice. And I pulled it out. I just could not get in the swing of that on those small letters. So I said, in order for me to have, you know, this little quilt, this little hang up quilt, I'm just going to have to leave it like that, and either that or possibly just quilt the whole quilt. And that way, if I do that, my letters will last longer on the fabric, because eventually, you know, I feel like the glue is going to get worn out eventually over time. So I think what I'm going to do with this cute little thing is actually quilt it, maybe just do just straight line, or maybe the crisscross one, I forgot what's the name of it. Maybe do that pattern, but it'll be something simple to where it will hold my letters down. I will not do the zigzag stitch on the rest of these letters. I'm just not going to do it. So I love the way it came out. I like the gingham border that I had used, and I think I used this gingham border on one of my pineapple blocks that I did. I really love the gingham for borders. So I like the way that came out. I used this backing, and I used this on one of my pineapples as well. So that's the backing of it. Nice bright yellow. And I was able to catch my backing on the borders. Now let me tell y'all something. My mind, the way my mind work for borders, everybody's mind work different, and at different times I may do the technical way of binding, but a lot of times I just go for it the way I see how it's gonna work in my mind, and that may not be the right way to do it, but for me, I feel like it comes out good even if it's not the right technique. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. I love to do these kind of loops for the dowels. So I did the loops like that so I could get my dowel and be able to hang it up. And again, I was able to catch the binding, which I did a 2-inch binding. And what happened here was I did that, what they call it, the envelope, the inside out thing, where I had the backing facing the fabric, and then I inserted these in, and then I flipped it inside out. So that's why you don't see the binding up in this area, which is fine for me. So that's how that turned out. So let me see if I could zoom in so you guys, because if I come in close, you can see what I'm saying about the letters and where my error was on that letter E. And then you can see where I actually pulled it out twice. But I tried to starch it down so I won't have too much fraying. But I just couldn't get the knack of it. So I stopped and I said, this is where I'm going to end as far as doing that applique stitch. And then you can see on the rotary cutter, it came out really good. I was pleased with that because I had more room to finagle, you know. But even on the tape measurer, I thought this was the cutest thing, the tape measurer, and that one came out pretty good too. I love the way I was able to stitch, you know, the little numbers and the lines to give you the look of numbers there. So that came out good. But when I got to those letters, it was too difficult for me. Now I know there's some applique queens out there, and I'm not there yet. So I did challenge myself and say, well, let's see how well I can do this. Now, as far as the fusible part of the laser cut kit, that was cool because I was able to use my light box. This was the first time using my light box, and I understand the concept of it. It kind of reminded me of what we used to do when I was young, as far as the tracing. Now, the good thing about the laser cuts, when you get laser cut kits, all you got to do is put that bad boy on the light box, line up whatever your laser cuts are, and it's easy peasy. So I do enjoy, right now, I would probably always go towards laser cut kits, especially if they're big. If the items are big on the quilt, I will definitely go for it. Now I have other books that require the light box, and you have to actually trace the item on the fabric. That could be a little bit more tedious for new beginners when it comes to using a light box. But I do have a book that has it's a book on quilt rugs, and you have to do a lot of that tracing on the fabric. Those are a lot of those. You can buy mug rug sets that are already laser cut, but I have a book that shows you how to do all of that with the light box. But I think if you're new to laser cuts, a small quilt like this will be the way to go. Do not try to jump into something too big to where it will stress you out. So to me, this will definitely be a go beginner quilt. Even it doesn't even have to be a laser cut quilt. This will be a nice project to do if you're entering the quilt world for the first time. Start with something small like this, or even plate mats, napkins, what else? Table toppers. Start with small items. But if you want to get introduced to laser cut, this is a great kit to start with. So as you can see, it's called Measure Once, Cuts Twice, designed by Tied with a Ribbon, and you can get this on Missouri Quilting. Alright, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this show and tell. I hope you guys are inspired, and I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, peace. Oh, don't forget, keep on blocking, baby.